Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Closer to home now, St. Paul RCMP are still looking for a suspect in connection to an abduction at Saddle Lake last night. They say that person they're looking for is violent and dangerous. It all started around 10 o'clock with a call to RCMP reporting a break-and-enter and assault of a couple at a Saddle Lake home. One of the victims, 49-year-old Corrine Steinauer, was taken. RCMP believes she was being held in a school bus stolen from the home. Then shortly before 7 this morning, RCMP reported Corrine had been found and the school bus abandoned. RCMP are looking for 37-year-old Conrad Cardinal of Saddle Lake. He's described as slender, 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing about 150 pounds. RCMP say Cardinal has ties to Saddle Lake and to St. Paul. The annual Community Garage Sale in Lloydminster saw a boost in size and attendance. The event was held at the Lloyd Exhibition Grounds on Saturday and featured multiple vendors offering a variety of products ranging from clothing to vinyl records and collectibles. Organizer Melissa Winter says the number of vendors was up from last year.
31 vendors and over 75 tables.
Oh, wow.
And we are in 2 buildings. We're in the Prairie Rooms and the Nissan Hall. Last year I only had this room, so I would say vendors-wise, I know there was about 40 tables, 45 tables, so probably about maybe 20 people or so.
Winter has been organizing the Community Garage Sale for 4 years now. If you're interested in joining the event next year, you can contact Melissa Winter through Facebook Messenger. It's time now for this week's edition of Retrospect. Here is Callum Hawker.
This week in Retrospect, we dive into April of 1995 while we look at some changes to the Spring Softball League due to a lack of interest.
Although you'd never know it by the weather, spring is in the air, meaning the slow pitch season is right around the corner. This season will have a different look to it than last year's, as the league is going back to 1 season instead of 2. Last year's second season attracted only 13 teams and not a lot of interest, making the decision to go back to 1 season an easy one.
3 weeks of it, teams started not showing up, and this wasn't enough, didn't seem to be enough interest. And so we decided to go back to 1 season.
Ball, 1 strike. Increased costs for both umpires and diamond rentals have caused entry fees for the 50-plus mixed teams to double this season.
It'll be $400 for mixed divisions 1, 2, and 3, and 4 with umpires. And then Division 5, we've put a whole bunch of teams in there that requested just want to play for fun and no umpires, so they'll pay $325. And the men will probably pay about around $400 also.
It's also pay or don't play. League registration is at 7 o'clock tonight at the Lloyd Comp High School. Teams that don't show up with their registration fee won't be hearing the familiar phrase, play ball, this season.
It's pay now so we can get the schedule done, because if we can't keep extending the deadline, otherwise we won't, it's going to be too tough to get the schedule done in a week or so.
And in April of '99, collegiate rodeo athletes compete in one of the biggest Canadian competitions for college students, including some pretty big names.
Ladies and gentlemen, there they are, the competitors for the finals 1999.
The top Canadian college rodeo athletes competed in Vermilion over the weekend. All had their sights set on a championship buckle, but when the dust settled, only a handful were declared winners. Lakeland College's Robert Lamontagne captured his 2nd bareback title in as many years, and now his sights are set on the future.
Yeah, this will probably be my last year. I'm going to move up now and do a few more amateur shows this summer, and then I'm going to move on to the pros.
An Olds College competitor took to both sides of the arena in the steer wrestling, team roping, calf roping, and saddle bronc, and he was declared champion in 2 of the events.
It's great. I can't explain it. I got on 3 really good broncs, and running the calves is kind of lucky because Randy, he had, if he'd have caught, he'd have probably beaten me because he's 4 seconds ahead of me in the average, and I had to make up some time, but just kind of worked out.
Lakeland College's rodeo team was declared national champions, and for some, the fact that it's also a hometown crowd helps out.
Yeah, it really helps a lot. You know, the hometown crowd and hometown support really helps everything. My horse knows the ground in here, being from Lakeland, and he seems to do well here.
So the Canadian Intercollegiate Finals wrapped up for another year Sunday, and organizers say they're happy with the outcome.
Really good. I think everything ran really smooth. All the contestants helped out as much as they could, and as well as the people in our club, they helped out a lot, and everything ran really good. So we were really pleased with the way the rodeos have been running.
In terms of the contestants, some extremely high caliber people that are competing here today.
Yes, there is. It's been good competition all weekend, and it's been really good. Things have been looking up for the CIRA, and it's getting to be a lot better competition as years go on.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.
Abby St. John joins me now with the weather, and it looks like we've got a bit of a warm-up coming, Abby.
Yes, which is going to be very good news, which is nice. You know, despite some cloud and wind over the weekend, gloomy-ish weather, it was relatively nice out over the weekend, so that's nice. And today we saw a very nice day out, especially with the eclipse happening and all that fun stuff. But we had a very warm day out, 14 degrees currently. There is really no wind chill. It feels like 14 degrees. The wind is calm, which is nice, especially for this area. I don't know how many times we're going to see calm underneath wind speeds here in the city, but for right now, it's pretty calm on that front. So very nice out, very sunny, little bit of cloud coverage here and there, but nothing too crazy. Very bright and nice out today. Current temperatures in Alberta are relatively similar to what we're sitting at, 15 degrees in Provost, Wainwright, Vegreville, Marwayne, Cold Lake, and Bonnyville, 16 in Lac La Biche, and 14 in St. Paul, Edmonton, Vermilion sitting at 13. And then in Saskatchewan, also similar temperatures as well, 13 in Green Lake, 14 in Meadow Lake, St. Walburg, Maidstone, and Macklin, 15 in Pierceland, and 12 out in North Battleford. Overnight tonight in North Battleford will drop down to just 1 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, so it should be a relatively nice evening out, only 15-kilometer-per-hour winds. And then tomorrow, expect a pretty sunny day out, a little bit mild with that 22-kilometer-per-hour wind in the afternoon, but a daytime high of plus 15. So it is quite warm out tomorrow. In Cold Lake overnight, it should be cloudy skies out, 20% chance that there could be a little bit of precipitation, but not too high of a chance. That wind is relatively calm at 9 km/h with a low of 2 degrees. And then tomorrow, daytime high of plus 14, a sunny to partially cloudy, which will be a relatively nice day out tomorrow. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, we will also be sitting quite cloudy, so those clouds should start rolling in as we head into this evening and overnight tonight. And we'll just drop down to a low of 2 degrees, so it shouldn't be too cold out this evening. 13 km/h wind, so that wind speed will start to pick up. And then tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, mild at times, but it will start to be breezy. So we won't be too calm tomorrow. 22 km/h winds in the afternoon, daytime high of plus 15. So that's always nice to see. Those double digits above zero. And then over the next 3 days here in the border city, we'll have a low of 0 for tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, mostly cloudy, windy, but with a high of 11 and a low of -3. So it's going to be a little bit cooler on Wednesday. On Thursday, a high of plus 15 and a low of plus 2 with a mix of sun and cloud. And then, of course, we have some viewer-submitted photos of the eclipse today. Thank you so much for sending this in from Marwayne, from Kayla. And then we also have from Dale this gorgeous photo, and from Debbie. And we have a few others as well that we can show out throughout the week. So thank you so much for submitting these photos. Now, as a first look at your evening weather forecast, we'll have more news coming up after the break.
The third annual Everything Equine on the Border is coming to the Lloyd X this weekend. Our Thomas Wildman has a preview of the event.
Today I'm joined by Dallas Saquette, the chairman of the Everything Equine on the Border show, which will be taking place here in Lloydminster at the Lloyd X. And so thank you so much for joining me today, Dallas.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks, Thomas.
And so Dallas, for those who have never attended Everything Equine on the Border, what is the show exactly about and what are people going to see at this great equine event?
Everything on the Equine is 3 days of horse people getting together and enjoying activities, and as well as trainers challenge, clinics, speaking sessions, fashion show, just all around good. I mean, there's the beer gardens is open, so there's always that for a visit. Just get together, visit, learn something.
And Dallas, you mentioned the Trainers Challenge there. Who are our three main trainers going to be for this very exciting and very unique event to Everything Equine?
Right, so the Trainers Challenge is 3 days, 6 sessions. So we bring in basically just a halter broke 3-year-old for them, and they start from scratch. It's fast forward of the program they would do at home if they were working a colt. Obviously, fast forwarded, they're definitely going to take more than the 5.5 hours or so they get with them here. But we get to see that from them, and it's awesome to see what they can do in those 3 days. So our 3 trainers is our returning champion, Braden Bernier from south of PA. Just a young guy and just awesome to watch. Really enjoyed him last year. Looking forward to it again this year. Rod Olson from southern Alberta. He was up in our first year that we had Everything Equine, and he was a bit of a fan favorite, so we thought we'd bring him back. And again, really good to watch and awesome to listen to. He's very much interactive with the crowd, so he's good watching. And our third trainer is Extreme Wileen Wilson from down in the States. She's done the Mustang makeover before, and we're happy to have Wileen up here to join us for the Trainers Challenge.
And then Dallas, what are some of the other exciting events that we are going to be seeing at the 2024 edition of Everything Equine?
So with 3 days, we've got 3 days of clinics, right from 8 in the morning till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. We start our day off with cow horse. Jeff Hoare from about Innisfail down there is coming up to do cow horse again. Awesome, really good watching. Cow horse is good watching. Saturday, Sunday at noontime in the 1 o'clock is Jill Barron doing working equitation. Jill's also going to be one of the judges for the Trainers Challenge, so she's doing double duty here this weekend or next weekend. Then in the afternoon, we're going to have show jumping. Connie Dortch from Eastern Saskatchewan is coming out to join us again. Connie's been all over North America and the world, teaching clinics, judging events, trained a bunch of horses that have gone on to great things. So very excited about those 3 clinics. We also have trade show for 3 days. I think we've got 25 or so vendors for our trade show, a wide array of things from tractors and buildings and shelters to clothes. So lots of variety in the trade show. And this year we've also tried a kids zone, sitting's tough for little people especially. So we've put together a kids zone, something that they can kind of let loose, burn off some energy as well. Because like I say, sitting's tough. So.
And finally, Dallas, if people want to attend any of the events throughout Everything Equine and find out more information, where is the best place for them to go to find out?
So the schedule is all up on the Facebook and the website. Tickets through the website. Actually, I guess we are having Wileen Wilson is doing a speaking session Saturday night at our VIP gathering. And if you don't want to be a VIP, but you still want to come and see Wileen, you can get in on that, listen to Wileen, join in on the appetizer spread, which Jim puts out here, and it's stellar. You don't leave there hungry. So you can phone the office for those tickets to get those. And like I say, everything's on the website and then Facebook.
Thank you so much for all the information, Dallas, and we look forward to another fantastic Everything Equine on the Border.
Now here are your agriculture prices for today. This year's NCAA Women's March Madness Tournament brought in record viewership and exposed the sport of basketball to girls around the world. Our Ben Lowan has more.
Martin's three is good. A strong start.
The Iowa Hawkeyes and undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks played in the NCAA Finals yesterday. Iowa went on an early 10-0 run, but South Carolina came back with help from a 29-19 second quarter score to take the win and become the 10th program to finish undefeated. The women's game has increased in popularity, and Kalina Garda understands how big these games can be for the growth of the sport.
More translatable to the younger and the less elite games. When I watch some of these forwards play and some of these centers like Camila Cardoso, Aaliyah Edwards, Hannah Stolke, when I watch some of these players, I'm like, that could be me.
Iowa's Elite Eight matchup against LSU brought in 12.3 million viewers. The Final Four matchup between Iowa and UConn brought in 14.2 million viewers, which produced the largest audience for any college or professional basketball game. And for the fourth year in a row, every game was streamed on an ESPN affiliate. This year's tournament had many ways people could get exposed to the game.
There's multiple streaming sites, and then even on YouTube, they got those like 15-minute highlight clips. You know, those are so fun to watch, and that's free. I think that's really helped expose the sport more and help spread the word that women's basketball is actually pretty good and pretty fun to watch.
Kids in Lloydminster also had the chance to experience high-level basketball. The CCAA Women's Basketball Championships were held at Lakeland College. Garda was one of the players to lift the championship trophy and understands her influence on future generations.
I want to be even better. I want to be even more involved with their sport and, you know, go out to more games in the community, more high school games, more elementary school games, more junior high games, you know, just be more involved in their lives to show that I also care.
For Primetime Local News, I'm Ben Lowan.
Abby St. John is back in now to take a second look at our weather forecast.
Thanks, Leanne. We saw a pretty nice day out today, very sunny, a little bit of cloud coverage, a little bit of patchiness, but we will have more cloud coverage as we go into the evening. But for the day, it's been pretty good. We're sitting at 14 right now. No real wind chill to report. 11-kilometer-per-hour winds, and that's going to start picking up. And it's going to be a little bit windier tomorrow afternoon. Current temperatures in Alberta, 14 also out in Edmonton and Athabasca, 15 in Cold Lake, 12 in Red Deer, 10 in Rocky Mountain House, 7 in Jasper, and 11 in Edson and Whitecourt. And in Saskatchewan, 14 in Meadow Lake, Prince Albert, and Melfort, 12 in North Battleford, and 10 out in Saskatoon. If we head up north in Saskatchewan, 9 degrees in Uranium City, 12 in Stony Rapids and South End, 11 in Wollaston Lake, 14 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, and 15 out in Flin Flon. And in Alberta up north, 13 out in Fort Chipewyan, 11 in High Level and in Peace River, 10 in Grand Prairie, 8 in Slave Lake, and 16 out in Fort Mac. Down south in Alberta, 13 in Coronation and Lethbridge, 14 in Medicine Hat, 11 in Calgary, and 6 out in Banff. And in Saskatchewan, 12 in Kindersley, 11 in Swift Current, 13 in Moose Jaw and Estevan, 14 in Regina, and 10 out in Yorkton. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, we'll drop down to 1 degrees. It will be mostly cloudy as the evening rolls in, 15-kilometer-per-hour winds. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, expect cloudy conditions as well. There's about a 20% chance of some precipitation, but not too large of a chance to be cautious. About 9-kilometer-per-hour winds, and the low will be 2, so not too bad of an evening. Overnight tonight across the region will also not be too bad. A little bit of cloud coverage. 2 degrees in Meadow Lake and Provost, 1 in Bonnyville, Isla Cross, and Paradise Hill. And like I said, a little bit more cloudier as the evening rolls in. And then more overnight temperatures, 2 degrees in Murnum and in Calgary, 3 in Pierceland, 1 in Unity and in Wainwright. And again, just like here, there will be considerable cloudiness or turning cloudy as the evening rolls on. But those temperatures aren't too bad, so it won't be too cold overnight tonight in any of the region. And then overnight tonight here in Lloydminster, we'll drop down to 2 degrees, cloudy conditions as well, and 13-kilometer-per-hour wind. So again, it won't be that bad of an evening. Maybe a little bit chilly with that wind, but not too bad with that 2 degrees. And then over the next 7 days here in the border city, with a high of 15 and a low of 0 for tomorrow, a mix of sun and cloud, and the wind will start to pick up in the afternoon. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy and a little bit cooler with a high of 11 and a low of -3. And then it kind of warms back up again as the week goes on. With Thursday, mix of sun and cloud as well, with a high of 15 and a low of 2. On Friday, a high of 17 degrees, so it will be definitely warming up, mix of sun and cloud with a low of 3. On Saturday, it will be warm, but it will be cloudy with a high of 17 and a low of 1. On Sunday, expect some sunshine with a high of 16 and a low of 3. And then on Monday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 13 and a low of -1. So we're sticking into those mid-teen temperatures, which is always nice to see at this time of year. That is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break. I'm joined here today by Dale Belair. He is the founder of the Food Truck Wars of Canada. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Abby. Nice to be here on this eclipse day.
Yes, for sure. Now, this is happened a couple of months, but the North Battleford Demo Derby is taking place, and you will be there for the Food Truck Wars. Tell me what that is and what people can expect from if they come out to the Demo Derby.
Well, it's a collection of food trucks, retail vendors. We're going to have some crafting vendors there as well. We're still early in the registration. We still have quite a few vendors to go, but we are booking vendors as we speak every week. We're excited that we have some great vendors coming. We've got Booster Juice out of Regina. We've got Kona Ice, which is out of the States. They're franchised all across Canada now. We've got some other potential vendors that are coming and food trucks. We still haven't confirmed them, but we're looking maybe possibly to have about 10 to 12 trucks, maybe 14, who knows, actually, depending on what the booking is. There is a very, very busy season in Saskatchewan for events, so it's all a matter of just getting the trucks when they're available, actually, for the date. We do have a key date. It's July 19th, 20th, and 21st at the North Battleford Exhibition Grounds. We are in direct partnership with the lady that runs the exhibition, Jocelyn Ritchie. We're working in conjunction with the Demolition Derby, and also, instead of it being just a one-day event, which the Demolition Derby will be, we will be doing the food trucks on Friday and Sunday as well. And we're also looking for possibly some more attractions on that.
Yes, that sounds very exciting. And I was even mentioning earlier to you that food trucks are very, very popular in the last several years. They've definitely gone up in popularity. Everybody loves them. So this is a perfect way to come out and enjoy the food trucks. Now, you are in need of maybe some more trucks, some more vendors. So tell me what you're looking for and how people can, if they have a vendor or they have a food truck, how they can get set up there.
Well, they can contact us directly in the office at 306-515-4333. If they're too shy to call originally, they can send me a text and one of us will get back to them. That's 306-515-4333. And we're pretty well open to just about most vendors, most exhibitors, and food trucks as well. Even a couple of nonprofits we're going to take on as well. They will be no charge for them. And as a goodwill gesture to the city and the nonprofit people, we want to have a couple of them in on it as well.
Awesome. Now I know this is taking place in a few months in July, so we still have a fair bit away, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again closer to the date. But for the actual date, will people need to buy tickets to come out to the event? Is it free? What sort of things does that involve?
It's free admission. I believe there's a $10 charge for the Demolition Derby. this year. And I know that last year they had roughly between 2,000 and 2,500 people just on the Saturday. So with the food truck event there, it's going to be an extra bonus. However, the Friday and the Sunday, they can come free of charge and come on the grounds and access the trucks and the retail vendors.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And again, we'll probably talk closer to the date to get people more excited for it. But thank you so much. And I wish you the best of luck for vendors and for the event itself.
Thank you, Abby. Hope to meet you there.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
Dan Davidson is back with us to hear on Primetime Local News on Stingray Television. Dan, it's always a pleasure chatting with you, and you always have so much news. We're going to start by the release of a video that you have, and you got a tour coming up, but let's start with the video and the collaboration. Tell me a little bit about the song and the video.
Yeah, so I wrote this song called "Won't Forget," and it's kind of a bit of an anthem for summertime and just kind of grabbing those chances while you still have them. That's kind of the vibe. And I decided that I was going to make it a bit of a collaboration. So I brought in a friend of mine, Tim Hicks, out in Ontario, and Tim's, a very popular country singer in Canada here. And since I've been working a lot in Australia, I decided I'd bring in another friend from Australia, Max Jackson, down there, who's one of their big rising stars. And it's always a big challenge when you're doing a collaboration, but even bigger challenge when one of the people that you're singing a song with lives 20,000 kilometers away. So we got creative and we got it together, and I'm really proud of the song, and it's really starting to get some attention out there at radio and with the music video that we just released. It's got legs, and it's really exciting times.
So with the video now, obviously, as you mentioned, Max is in Australia. So did you guys just say, hey, this is what we need, and can you find somebody to shoot it? Or how did you coordinate all that?
Yeah, so we designed the premise for the video kind of around a concept that could be easily replicated in Australia. So we have here in Edmonton, we have this place called Department 9 Studios. It's a massive TV studio, and there's like one room where it's this huge warehouse type room with nothing in it. So we blacked it all out, and we just used some sort of clever spotlighting and kind of made it a big black void for the performance section, which is easily replicated by Max in Australia. And then we kind of strung together this string of clips that are just have this, like I said, the young, wild, and free kind of a vibe. It's a really great mood setter for summer. I know today it doesn't really look like it out there. We got a whole bunch of snow here in Edmonton today, but I think it's going to be a great way to get everybody's heads in the right place for the warm season.
And you are heading off to Australia here for a little bit of a tour. Obviously, you've been well received in Australia, Dan. Every time I look at your social media, you're talking about songs on the charts over there. And so this is, I guess, a chance for you to do a little bit of promotion over there. But it must be quite exciting to know that, over there, everybody is really enjoying your music and that you have this great audience there.
Yeah, it's been really great. This will be my third time back down under, and a couple months ago I just signed a record deal with a company in Australia, and that's part of the reason for being there. We have a few festivals, but a lot of press and a lot of handshaking to do. It's a long way to go, but it's nice to have another market that's really similar to Canada to be able to work in, especially because their winter or their summer is like our winter, so it's our downtime is their busy time, so it all works out pretty well.
So what's happening over the summer for you, Dan? Do you have some festivals and some concert dates and more songs coming out? I know you always have 10 irons in the fire. So what's going on for the next few months here?
Yeah, well, right now we're wrapping up a string of concerts that I've put together with a couple friends of mine. It's called Heartstrings and Honky Tonks, and so we've done 4 shows now. The fourth one is tonight in Spruce Grove, and so that's something I've been working on. But for the summer, I have shows all over the place. I'm going to be in Italy in June, and I'll be in the UK in August, and a few festivals in Canada here, sort of randomly throughout the summer. So it's pretty busy. I'm putting on some miles, that's for sure.
All right, Dan. Well, always a pleasure chatting with you, and we look forward to whatever comes next from Dan Davidson. So good luck with everything, and thanks for chatting us once again.
Oh, thanks for having me, Stacey. Good to see you again.
Well, Mexico was the first nation in North America to experience that solar eclipse today. Here's a look at the moment the moon finally covered the sun in Torreon, Mexico, leaving a halo of bright light around it. The eclipse plunged the region into darkness. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered across Mexico to take in the spectacle, and many cheered as they saw it. And Abby, we didn't really see too much here at the office, but there were luckily some viewers in our area that did.
Yes, and you know, it's gorgeous, and you can't really see it directly. You can't look at it directly anyways, so seeing it in video or seeing it in pictures is more than enough, and it's, you know, a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I think that's awesome that so many people got to experience it.
Yeah, that's all that we have for you tonight. Thanks so much for joining us, and have a good evening.